just wanted to share with you guys one of my favorite variations on the dumbbell bent over row right now, especially for clients. If you have some clients that you're working with or even yourself and you go to do dumbbell rows and you don't always feel that contraction in the lats and you end up being a little bit more arm dominant. So let me show you what I mean. So in a normal flat bench dumbbell row position, all right, it's not uncommon to think as a client, or even if you guys are just exercising on your own, it's not uncommon to think that you should just pull that weight straight up. And what ends up happening, for one, it potentially can drive that shoulder forward, and it also contributes to being a little bit more bicep and brachioradialis dominant, right? So not terrible, there's nothing wrong with working the arms, but if you're really trying to engage the back and the lats, those lats go to extend the shoulder. So if you look at it from a rowing motion, it's more about pulling that hand almost to like your top of your hip bone or to that bottom rib, somewhere in there. So that could be one cue that you work on either for yourself to really try, right? It's more of like a pull back motion, but still it doesn't always work for everyone. So sometimes a nice external cue using, if you have a cable, you could use a cable. I have a little band set up right now, which I actually like a little bit more because you get a little additional squeeze with that accommodating resistance. So for me, when it comes to really getting clients or individuals to feel that a little bit more, I think this is a really great option. And also, even for myself, if I find myself in a situation where maybe I don't want to go quite as heavy, or I'm traveling and I'm in a situation where maybe I have some bands, but I don't have a really heavier set of dumbbells, I don't have 60s, 70s to work on a little bit more hypertrophy, this is a great way to increase the demand. So first off, especially using that band, it really forces them to engage their core, driving through that other hand. And then now it becomes more of a pull back motion. So based on where I have the kettlebell set up right now, obviously I'm much more upright. So of course it's a little bit more of like a standing or even a split stance row if I had a low cable or band. But if I had a different band setup, one thing you can also do is you can get this same setup actually using this front fork of the bench. Slipping a band around there. This black band would probably be a little bit heavy for me, but a light resistance band to bring it a little bit further down, more like a normal position, and driving that elbow back. So again, just that increase in the resistance from the band, what it does is it changes it. I no longer have just this vertical force vector where I'm pulling that dumbbell up. I now have a slight horizontal, that angle, and that just contributes to really accentuating that extension at the shoulder and a really, really nice contraction in the lats. I also find this is a really, really good option for some of your clients. For one, if they have much longer legs, you're working with someone who's taller, over 6 feet. Sometimes it can be tough, especially with a traditional bench, right? I'm 5'8". This is a great setup for me. I can keep a nice flat back. But if they've got much longer legs, hips are way up high, it can be a lot harder to keep a neutral spine position and not be rounded out. So what this does, it just allows us to get into a little better position by being elevated up while still contributing to that rowing motion, right? So a little easier for them to keep that chest out and back a little bit more neutral and still work what we're trying to get out of the dumbbell rows. So I think takeaway is you don't have to fit everyone into the same box. This is a really good option for someone if you're trying to engage the lats a little bit more and take some of the arm out of the exercise, and for them just to get and understand to pull that dumbbell a little bit lower. So give it a try. Let me know what you think.